Good afternoon, children. In the last class, we started the chapter 6 Measurement and Motion. So, now we are going to continue our lesson. Yes, we'll continue with the topic Measurement and Motion, children. In the last class, what we have read, just we'll recall now and then we'll move on to the further topic. Now, in the last class, we read about the concept of measurement. So, what is the meaning of measurement? Measurement is a process of comparing the unknown quantity with the known quantity. Here, for example, we have taken the two persons. They are the person P and person Q went to the market and they brought 3 kg of apple, and person Q brought, suppose you think he brought 6 kg of apple from the market. So when they went to the market, the person P, he needed only 3 kgs of apple, and person Q, he needed only 6 kgs of apple. So what the vegetable grocer, what he did, he took the balance and weighed 3 kgs of apple and he gave to the person Q, and this he weighed 6 kgs of apple and he gave to the person Q. Now here 3. Here we have the two variables, that is the 3 is the variable. It goes on changing from person to person, and kg is the constant unit. Here kg is the constant unit. So here this is the unknown quantity. This is the, sorry children, this is the known quantity. So we are comparing the known quantity with the unknown quantity. Yes. So measurement is a process of comparing the known quantity with the unknown quantity. Yes, this we have learnt in the last class. After learning this, we just moved on to the next topic. What we had learnt was the non-standard unit. The non-standard unit we used was the handspan. Yes, handspan, the distance between the little finger to the thumb. The distance between the little finger to the thumb is called, we took it as one handspan. So it this one handspan varies from one person to another person, and it does not give the exact measurement. So this was as what happened, we stopped using the handspan measurement and we started using the standard unit. Standard unit of measurement. In the standard unit of measurement, this standard unit of measurement gave us the exact measurement of length. So as it gives the exact measurement of length and it was used and accepted by the whole world, we called it as international unit. We call it as international unit. In short, we call it as SI unit. SI unit is nothing but the international standard unit. So we also learnt the meaning of quantity. Yes, quantity. The meaning of quantity is amount. Yes, the quantity which is to be measured is called as physical quantity. Yes, what is physical quantity, children? The quantity which we measure is called as physical quantity. So we learned the three basic physical quantities. The three basic physical quantities were the length, the weight, and the time. The length, the standard unit of length was the meter, the weight was the kg, and the time was the second. So we just discussed about the length. Yes, and now we'll move on to the next topic, that is the time. So in the today's class we'll move on to our next topic, that is the time. So time plays a very important role in our life, children. It helps in planning the activities from morning to evening, or taking breakfast, or having dinner, or going to school, or and each and everything is being scheduled in our daily life, or attending the online classes, okay, or doing your homework. So every where what we have done, we have planned according to the time, we have planned our each and every activity. So suppose you think, children, if there is any routine, what will happen into our life? Yes, so the life may become a mess, where we have what we have to do, where we have to go, and what we have to do. So time plays a very important role in our life. It makes our life planned well planned. And for this we have what we have, children. To show the time, we have the clock. So we have different types of clocks in our okay. We have wall clock, we have alarm clock, we have wristwatch, and now in our modern period we have the mobile phones. This mobile phone is so updated that we get the date, time. So according everything is being set in the mobile phone. So now these are the, according to this we are going to plan. So in now when we take up our ancient people, how did they get the idea of time? They were totally depending on the natural events. The natural events that occur in the regular interval of time. The natural events, which were those natural events? The rotation of the earth, which occur. So according to the rotation of the earth, which causes day and night, and the revolution of the earth round the sun, so which causes changes in the seasons, the phases of the moon, new moon day, and the new moon day and full moon day. So many of these events, according to these events, the people were totally dependent, and they were getting the idea of the time, and they were calculating, and they were depending on the natural events that took place in their surroundings, and they were totally depending on these events, children, and they were setting according to this. They were depending on their daily activities, were dependent on these natural events. Now relating to this clock, we have one device. That device is nothing but the simple pendulum. What is this simple pendulum? So it is a device which is made up of a certain length. And it is attached to a round or ball like structure. Okay, it is made up of metal. We call it as a bob, and this is made up of a certain length, and it is having some x meters length. The length is made up of x meters length. So now this bob, it moves from one position to another. It moves from one position to another position. Now as we push the bob, what happens children? It just reverse like this, and then again it moves forward and it comes to the center, and again it moves forward, and again what happens? It again moves backwards, and again it comes to the center and again moves backwards to this position. So here we can observe this movement in the swing. When we go to a park, for example, when we go to a park, what happens here? When you are sitting on the swing, for suppose you think this is the, just I am drawing the rough figure, this is the swing and you are sitting on this swing. What your mother does, she'll just push it backwards. First what we do, we just push it backwards, and then what happens? The swing comes to the center and then it moves forward. So the movement of the swing from backwards to the middle and again to forward and again coming back, the movement of the swing, it relates to the movement of the bob in the simple pendulum. Yes, this just I gave the example to explain the movement of bob from backwards to center and then from there to the forward. So this movement is called as one oscillation. Yes, everyone understood children? What is this? The movement of the bob from, we are just give the pressure. What happens? It moves backwards, comes to the center and then moves forwards, again comes back in the same in the reverse direction to the center and to the original position. So this movement of the bob from ear to ear and again from ear to ear, this is called as one oscillation. What is it called? One oscillation. So now we have in London we have the biggest and the longest pendulum clock. We have the biggest and longest pendulum clock. So this pendulum clock, the length is 4 meters long, and there is a bob made up of metal. Okay. Yes. So when it completes its one oscillation, yes, in this direction, when it completes, if the length of this is 4 meters, the length of the pendulum is 4 meters, the bob takes to complete one oscillation, it takes 4 seconds children. It takes 4 seconds. So the length of the pendulum, it directly depends on the time taken to complete one oscillation. Now for example, here I did not just wrote x meters. If it is 1 meter length, yes, x is equal to 1 meter length. So the time taken for this bob to complete one oscillation is nothing but 1 second. I think everyone understood. The length of the pendulum depends directly on the time taken to complete one oscillation is 4 seconds. If it is 1 meter length, it takes 1 second. If it is 4 meters length, it takes 4 seconds. So the length of the pendulum, listen carefully children, the length of the pendulum decides the time taken to complete one oscillation. Yes. So now after this we'll move on to the next to measure the time. We have now for small distance, we have to measure the time in a small distance or some small time interval. So now what we are using nowadays, we are using the stopwatch. I think everyone have seen the stopwatch. Yes, we use this stopwatch as a machine used to measure the small time fraction. A small time fraction, what we are going to use? We are going to use the stopwatch. When you are conducting any race or the sports event or the swimming event, what we are going to use? We are going to use the stopwatch. Okay. It can be, why we are using the stopwatch? Because to measure very small time interval. Okay. So and here what is the one more convenient is, here is the stopwatch can be started and stopped. Okay, it can be started and stopped at one's will. Whenever we want to start and whenever we want to stop, it depends on our will. So the stopwatch is being used in the when the athletes are running in the race, and when the swimmers are in the swimming event and in the sports event, we are going to use the stopwatch. It is the best device which gives us the information and about the time. Okay. So the next nowadays what we are nowadays we are using the digital watch. What is this digital watch? I think everyone are having the watch in your home or the clock. You will be having the hour hand, the minute hand and the second hand. Okay. So these three hands will be there in a clock. So in the digital watch, you will not be having any hour hand, minute hand or the second hand. You will be having the time, the hour, the minutes, everything will be in the digit form. Okay. For example, 9:30. Yes. So to show the 9:30 a.m., just the watch we can observe it is observed in the form of digits. 9:30. There is no hour hand or the minute hand or the second. Directly in the digits we can observe the time. Yes. So such clocks are called as digital clocks or digital. Okay. We call it as digital clocks. Not watch, children. It is digital clock where it shows directly the digits. Now we'll move on to the next topic. The rest and motion. Yes, what is the meaning of rest and what is the meaning of motion? Now in our nature there are various things. Many of them some are in motion surrounding us, children. Some are in motion and many of them are at rest. So the building outside, the buildings which are the houses, the buildings, the mosque, the church or the police station, or the buildings which are surrounding us are at rest. They do not move. Okay. They are at same place. Today also they are in the same place. Tomorrow also they are in the same place. So whereas the birds, I think everyone observed the birds, they are flying in the air. The animals are moving. The human beings are moving around in our surrounding areas. So they are moving accordingly. Okay, respectively the animals, the birds and the human beings are moving respectively in the surrounding area. So as they are moving, can we call it as a motion? Yes, we can call it as a motion because there is a change in a place. They are moving from one place to another place according to their environment. Okay, in their surroundings they are moving from one place to another place. So here so how can we define the rest, children? The rest do not change the place. Okay, the rest do not change the place, whereas the motion, okay, the change in place can be observed depending on the surroundings. So how will we define the rest? An object is said to be in rest. An object is said to be in rest if it does not change its position. depending upon the surroundings. Yes, example, the building surrounding us. Now, what is the meaning of motion? How will you define the motion? An object is said to be in motion if it changes its position with the surroundings. Example, the movement of animals, birds and human beings. I think everyone are clear with the meaning of rest and the motion. What is rest, children? Once again I am repeating, listen carefully. An object is said to be in rest if it does not change its position depending upon the surroundings. And what is motion? An object is said to be in motion if it changes its position with the surroundings. Now we'll clear what is this surroundings. Here I have used the word surroundings. So now with an example we'll clear out what is the meaning of surroundings. For example, imagine this is a car, children. Okay. This is a car which is at the position A. This is the position of the A. Now the car is not moving. Here at the side of this, here there is a tree. Okay. The tree is also at rest. Yes. The tree is also at rest at its position. Okay. Now there is a car which is at the position A. So now it has D. D is nothing but the distance. It has not travelled any distance. So D, we can tell it as the D is 0. The time is also 0. It has not moved or nothing. It is at rest now. Yes. So the car is at rest. Yes. An object is said to be at rest if it does not change its position depending on the surroundings. So in the surroundings, the car is at rest. Now, what happens after 5 minutes? After 5 minutes, the car just moves to a certain distance. Now it has covered the certain distance. Okay, children? So from position A, it has moved to position B. What is the position now? After 5 minutes. The duration of time is 5 minutes. And the distance travelled. The distance travelled is also 5 meters. Okay, the distance travelled is 5 meters. 5 meters it has travelled in 5 minutes. Now here how can we write here? The distance travelled is 5 meters. The time taken is 5 minutes. Now, so after 5 minutes, again the car moves from position B to position. Yes, the car moves to position C. Suppose you think the position C. Now, here it has the time is same here, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Here it has travelled to 5 meters. Now what happened to the distance travelled here is 10 meters. Yes, so it has moved from position B to position C. It has travelled. The distance covered by the car in 5 minutes is totally 10 meters it has covered. So how can we write here? The distance travelled is here 10 meters. The time taken is Yes. Now, what will be the time taken, children? Can I write 5 minutes here? Can I write the 5 minutes here? What should I write here? Here the distance traveled is, it has reached to position C now. Can I write the distance traveled is 10 meters? Can I write it here? Now it has traveled from A to C. What is the total distance here it has traveled from A to C? Is it 10 meters? No, it's wrong. So calculate here 10 plus 5. What is the total distance? It has covered 15 meters. Okay. And the time taken is 5 plus 5, 10 minutes. So from position A to position C. Yes, the car has traveled in the distance 15 meters and the time 10 minutes. Now, can we call this car it's moving? Okay, whether it is in rest or in motion. Yes, it is in motion. It is in motion. An object is said to be in motion if it changes its position with the surroundings. Now the car was near the tree. Okay, this is its surroundings. Yes, as the car has moved to certain distance, okay, it has changed its position. Now the surrounding here, we cannot observe the same tree here. So this is the surroundings with changes its position with the surroundings. I think everyone have understood the meaning of motion. An object is said to be in motion if it changes its position. It has changed its position from A to C with the surroundings. Now what about the tree? As the tree is, whether it is in rest or in motion, the tree is in rest, children. The tree is in rest. It has not changed its position and it is in the same place where it was. The car is now here. Okay, the car is in this position. So from this what we can conclude, this is the surrounding of its. An object is said to be in rest if it does not change its position depending on its surroundings. So it has not changed. The surroundings are also same. Where it was, it is there, still there in its surroundings. So this is the meaning of the rest and the motion. Now here we can conclude one thing here as the example is given here. Okay, children. Now I think everyone are cleared with the rest and the motion. Now the time taken to travel certain distance 10 minutes and 15 meters. Okay, so now the car is moving in a certain speed. Now what is the speed of the car? Whether it is fast or whether it is slow. How can we judge this? Yes, tell me now whether the car is moving fast or whether it is moving slow. Yes. So here it has increased it has the distance traveled is been more when from 5 meters to 10 meters. When the distance in the same time the distance covered is more, then the car is it is in fast position. It is moving fast. If the distance traveled in the same minutes, if it is 5 meters and if it is moving, okay, it has covered the same 5 meters, we can tell it, okay, it is moving in the maximum speed. Okay, and if it has covered 3 meters less than the first from position B to C, it has covered 3 meters. Now the car is moving very slowly. I think everyone have understood. If the distance is the distance taken by the car has been more and in the same time, we call it as it is moving in fast movement, and if the distance taken is less in the same time, then we call it as it is moving in a slow, it is moving in slow motion. I think everyone understood this. Okay, now we'll move on to the next example, children. Now there is a train. You think this is a bogie of a train. Okay, this is a train. This is the example, children. Yes, now two people are sitting together. Yes, these are the two people, those who are sitting together. We'll just name them as Sonu and Monu. Yes, and the another friend of Sonu and Monu is standing outside. Yes, we can call him as Golu. Okay. Yes, just to understand the concept, just two persons are sitting in the train. The names are Sonu and Monu, and one is standing outside. Now the train started moving. The train started moving. Just he is standing in the platform. Where is this person? He is in the platform. Yes. Now the two are sitting at rest. Yes, these two people, those who are sitting beside each other, they are in the rest position. For Monu, Sonu is at rest. He has not changed his position. And for Sonu, Monu is at rest. Okay. But what about the person who is standing outside? What about the person, that is the Golu, who is standing outside? Okay. For him, Sonu and Monu are not in the rest position. They are in movement. They are, as the train is moving. So these are the surroundings. Okay. I think everyone understood. For Sonu and Monu, they are at rest as they are sitting together. Okay. According to Monu, Sonu is sitting at rest position. According to Sonu, Monu is sitting at rest position. But what about the person who is standing outside that is in the platform? For him, these Sonu and Monu are moving. They are in motion. With respect to him, they are in motion. With respect to each other, they are at rest. So the surroundings play a very important role to decide whether the thing is at rest or in the motion. For together they are in rest, but for him they are in motion as they are sitting in the train and they are moving. Okay, and for together and okay, so this is the surrounding. Just I wanted to confirm you that the surroundings play a very important role, children. The surroundings play a very important role into decide whether the person is in rest or in motion. I think everyone understood. So now we're going to conclude the topic, the physical quantity, the time. Okay, in the next class we'll move on to the next topic, the types of motion. Thank you, children.